After watching this video, you're not gonna have any more questions as to how often you should be training progressive overload. I created a super simple formula that's gonna be easy for you to understand and make progressive overload a lot easier for you. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. Now behind me on the board, I have 3 question marks. And those 3 parts of the question mark equal to progressive overload. And in order to understand it, we're gonna have to go back to the hypertrophy hierarchy for y'all to really get a simple grasp on it, because this is a lot simpler than you think. How the first part of the equation is something that you guys have always heard of, and it's actually the first tier of the hypertrophy hierarchy, and that's consistency and adherence. Consistent, structured training. Consistency is everything in the gym. No matter what kind of training you're doing, whether it's powerlifting, whether you're training for calisthenics, anything. If you're consistent and you're training structured, you're gonna progress. You're gonna make a lot of progress and things are gonna get better, whether strength-wise, muscle-wise. What is consistency though? Some of y'all think being consistent is being perfect and showing up in the gym 7 days a week. It's not. Personally, I believe in the span of 7 days, you need to be in the gym at least 3 days to see any sort of progressive overload and any form of muscle building on your body. You have to have a plan when you walk in there. There's a lot of y'all that just show up to the gym and you don't really know what to do because you have no plan, but you think that going in there and just pumping out some bicep curls and, you know, feeling it some type of way is the key to it. You have to be trained to a point where your muscles adapt to stress. And that's where the structure comes into your training, by having that training plan. So you know that, okay, today I'm gonna be doing this and that. With these 2 things, it's gonna help me progress so that, okay, next week or in 3 weeks from now, things are gonna be better. Progressive overload is never linear, almost never linear. Now, if you're a beginner in the gym, it can be linear for a while because you're basically learning your strengths and your body's adapting pretty quick because you're giving it new stimulus. But over time, the more you train, progressive overload can become a bit more difficult because of the fact that you've been in the gym so long, and getting these new strength gains can be a bit of a task and a hustle. And that's where consistent structured training always comes in again, because once you have structure to your training, you understand that the result will be this right here, progressive overload. You're probably gonna laugh when you see the second part of the formula because it's so simple. I'm breaking it down to the basics. This is what gets you progressive overload. Now, the next part of the formula is to freaking eat well. Your diet. It is important. Yes, lifting weights is an important part of the game. What you're doing outside the gym is just as, or sometimes even more important than what you're doing inside the gym. If you're not fueling your body correctly to perform in the gym and to give your all and to give your best and perform at your best in the gym, then what's the point then? How are you gonna build muscle? Somebody answer that for me. It's just like if you play any other sport. I played football and American football for years, and I knew that the one important factor to my performance, besides the practice, the one important factor that could change everything was how I ate leading up to a game. If I ate like shit, I couldn't go out, I couldn't run, I couldn't get my blocks in, I couldn't do anything right. You have to eat well. Your diet has to be great. In fact, let me slow it down a little bit, because when people think of diets and stuff, they think that you have to be perfect there as well. It comes back to consistency again, because a majority of your diet has to be really good. You have to be getting in your macros, your carbs, proteins, fats. And in my opinion, they should be whole foods, not a lot of processed stuff. Like you have all these protein bars and all that stuff and protein shakes and stuff. They help, but a majority of your foods have to be whole food. You have to be going after your chickens, fish, ground beef for protein, for example. Me, when I eat carbs, I love some potatoes, I love rice. Those 2 things. That's what I've figured out for myself over the years. That's what works best for me. For others, it might be something else, and that's fine. But it has to be a majority whole foods, because that's what also has all the micronutrients that you need, all your vitamins and minerals that you need to build your body, all those little amino acids that are building blocks, because that's what proteins are. For example, they're actually amino acids that are building blocks to your body. But if you're also getting in your micronutrients where you eat well, you're also taking care of yourself, keeping yourself healthy, your immune system's going and stuff like that. Dog, I can't even remember the time I was last sick, like on a proper level where like I needed to shut down. It's been so long because of what I eat. I know it has to do with my diet. This is proven. There's so many of y'all sitting around eating all this garbage food, bro. All these Twinkies and Ho-Hos and all that stuff. Let that stuff go, dog, and watch your performance in the gym just skyrocket. I swear to you. The last part of this formula is the one that I take the most serious. If I don't have enough quality of this, everything else degrades. Watch this. Go to sleep. Sleep well. Recover well. How is your body going to adapt to the stress that you're putting on it in the gym if you're not sleeping well and recovering well? Somebody answer that for me. Again, if you've played any other sport before, you know that the days leading up to a game, even practice at that, if you don't sleep well, if you don't recover well, what does it lead to? Injury. I pulled my hamstring. I rolled my ankle. You're putting in all this work most days of the week while you're at practice. In order to be fresh for the next practice or the next game, you have to recover properly. So things that you do outside of practice, sleeping and just taking it easy, those two things, they determine your performance in the game. Same thing in the gym, man. It doesn't get much more difficult than this. That's why I think it's really important to be cynical about your sleep. When I say cynical, you have to be selfish about it. I'm telling you, bro, there's a difference in Felix when he sleeps for 5 hours or when he sleeps for 7 to 8 hours. When Felix sleeps for 5 hours, it's a different guy, man. He's a different guy. Let's say you miss a day or two of sleep, cool, that can happen. But again, it comes back to consistency and structure. A majority of your sleep has to be on point, bro. You have to have quality sleep. Your body needs to recover to grow. Your body needs to recover to get rid of that delayed onset muscle soreness. These things have to happen in order for you to reach progressive overload. And if you're not reaching progressive overload, I firmly believe it comes down to one of these three things right here. If we take one away, it's gonna take even longer for you to reach this. It's the key to it, man. The three things that I named today: consistent and structured training, eating well, your diet, your sleep and recovery. Those three things are what you do to reach progressive overload. With all that being said, I should have said this in the beginning. The question isn't how often you should train progressive overload, because progressive overload is actually just it's more of a style of training to accomplish muscle being built. If you enjoyed this video, check my links in the description and watch this video right here. I know you'll enjoy it. Peace.